As today, the Tigers return home. It's LSU and the Gators from the University of Florida. And the tip control to LSU. Van Lit's got it. She will get it quickly to Williams to a cutting. Reese layup is good. LSU 2-0.
Tomorrow working hard on the boards, and that's one area where LSU excels.
We'll get it to Williams at the free throw line. Catch and shoot. It's good. Michaela Williams. Okay, going to the floor. She gets it off to Van Lit. Van Lit, 1-on-2, makes a move anyway. Layup is good.
1-on-3, Haley Van Lit.
Lobs it right corner. Williams, a three is good. Baseline spin, Pearl, layup is good. Top of the key with 5. She'll take a 17-footer, and it's good. With 2 seconds to go, and that is how the quarter will end.
That's a part of her game, too.
And LSU with a convincing.
Hello and welcome to the Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by the Budman, Buddy Songy, here from Old School Barbecue. You notice we don't have the shades on today, if you're familiar with Tigers Roar. We usually wear the shades if LSU drops a game. Last time we were on Tigers Roar, right after the new year, the Poche household just welcomed the new baby, so we were tired, we were drowsy, could barely keep it together, but we're doing better today. Happy to be here, happy to have you there, and a lot to talk about. Of course, you see LSU in the opening clips. Haley Van Lit goes off against Florida. LSU scores the most points for our women's basketball team in an SEC game in program history. Bounce back after 2 tough losses, once against South Carolina. Then they go on the road to Mississippi State. Mississippi State sells out the arena. It was absolutely a raucous crowd. Played LSU very tough. It was a close game down to the wire. But LSU kind of got out-toughnessed again, Budman, and out-hustled. And came out on fire against Florida, put up all kinds of points, diving all over the court. Great highlights in those clips for the intro. So Coach Kim Mulkey's team absolutely bouncing back. 19-4 is their record now. She doesn't want to hear the negative talk. She wants to remind you guys where this program was 2.5 years ago and how LSU is still relevant, still has everything they want to play for ahead of them, and they're in a good spot right now, firing all cylinders after scoring a ton of points against the Florida Gators. I want to bring in the Budman as we are 1 week away from Mardi Gras. Budman, wish you a happy earlier carnival season. And great to see you, my man.
Laissez-vous bon temps rouler. It is the carnival season. It is Mardi Gras season. Super Bowl week, Super Bowl 58. The stadium that you will see, 5:30 on CBS Sunday, Kansas City. And Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and, of course, Travis Kelce and his girlfriend will be on center stage with San Francisco. And we know the 49ers are a 2-point favorite. A lot of prop bets. We'll get into that. LSU football signing tomorrow, the second signing period. Dominic McKinley expected to ink with the Tigers, 6'5", about 285, 290. A D-tackle where we know they need the depth there. Trying to get Terry Bussey to flip. He is the athlete that can be a wide receiver, a returner, or a DB. And, of course, men's basketball get back to 500. Yep. The Big Mac attack, Matt McMahon and the Tiger men. You talked about the ladies scoring 106. The men scored 94.
Right.
Don't have to be a math genius to know last weekend the two teams won and averaged 100 points a game. That and baseball around the corner. 10 lefties, and all of them can pitch.
Yep.
So you Tiger fans, all you Jag fans, all you Tulane fans, everybody with their high school teams, hope you're doing well in February, and hope that we will be out of here with the weather and getting ready into spring and hitting the golf ball a little bit here in the coming weeks.
Talking about LSU baseball, Coach Jay Johnson had his introductory press conference to the year, the 2024 campaign. Coach Jay Johnson says, look, we're not defending anything. We're not the defending champs. Defense, the defense kind of means like you're being hunted. They want to attack. They want to be the hunters. They're going to attack this opportunity in 2024. We'll let you guys hear from head coach Jay Johnson, the national champion head coach Jay Johnson, now his 3rd year at LSU. Brought in a ton of pitching. LSU's going to be loaded on the mound. Coach Jay Johnson will tell himself it starts and ends with pitching. Of course, you lose a ton of talent to the pros last year. You're not going to replace a Dylan Cruz right off the bat, but a lot of talent left in the cupboard for Coach Jay Johnson. You're going to miss guys like Braden Joe Bear and Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens, like leaders in the clubhouse. But don't forget, you still have Tommy Tanks, Nasty Nate Ackenhausen, a lot of experience in Omaha last year from some young guys. Going to pay dividends for the baseball team this year. Looking forward to a very entertaining campaign. LSU's going to drop the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball, but on the mound, they are going to be very impressive with those arms.
Team captains this year, Alex Milazzo and, of course, Hayden Travinsky. Both of those guys will catch. Both of them will DH. Don't forget about Brady Neal, the freshman who got hurt last year. Look, you're never going to have two leaders of the magnitude of Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz winning the top two awards, going 1 and 2 in the draft. That's never happened before. And I want to do some research, and next time we're on I'll say this, but Paul Skeens threw more pitches, 100 or more miles per hour than any LSU pitcher ever. Cam Johnson is a big lefty, 6'5", 251. Where's number 55?
Freshman.
Throws it 100. They've got guys hitting 100. Look, I'll have Ben McDonald on the show next week, JP, but when we were growing up, if you threw it 90 or 91 or 92, then it got to 95, then it got to 97. Triple digits on the Jugs gun. New Intimidator with, of course, last year on it, and a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be looking forward to. And, of course, I'm fired up about LSU football as they continue to grab great momentum moving forward. You're not just recruiting this class, you're setting the table for 2025, and that, to me, is when LSU is going to really have a chance to win this thing. But we'll talk about it as we get closer. Spring football coming up in a couple months.
As we tape here on February the 6th, the Saints are also narrowing in on their offensive coordinator. Rumors that Clint Kubiak, the pass game coordinator from the Super Bowl contenders, I mean, they're playing in the big game from the 49ers. Clint Kubiak got the pedigree. Dad was a longtime head coach in the league. Great offensive mind. You see it on tape, bud, man. The 49ers are creative. They have dynamic playmakers. They use Trey Lance exactly the way the Saints like to use Taysom Hill. They have a very dynamic running back in Christian McCaffrey who likes to catch the ball at the backfield. The Saints have Alvin Kamara, who also is very dynamic, likes to catch the ball at the backfield. There's a lot of boxes being checked with the Clint Kubiak name. But, man, if Dennis Allen can get his man, stop talking about that John Gruden rumor that was going around. Get the dotted line dotted and get this train moving in the right direction.
Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant. If you're not familiar with that, that is the I guess you could say nickname that you get when you are the last player drafted. And, you know, the 49ers had to come back. Everybody knows Dan Campbell, the former Saints tight end coach, now head coach of Detroit, went for it a couple times on fourth down. I don't have a problem with that. He's done it all year.
Exactly.
But when you're down 3 and 7 minutes left, I thought he should have kicked the field goal there to tie it. San Francisco came and got a touchdown. If he would have kicked the field goal, JP, you would have had one more opportunity to tie it. That all being said, Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes. I have never seen a playoff game where the guys involved were in the commercials so much.
Right.
And in that great game, of course, let's be honest, some throat issues for Lamar Jackson. Once again, he's got to prove he can win the big one. Probably will win the regular season MVP, but they kind of grabbed the throat a little bit.
Yep.
But some incredible plays. It's tough for me not to think Mahomes and Kansas City are going to do it. Some talk about Andy Reid possibly retiring. Bill Belichick doesn't have a job, but his son did as he grabbed the D.C. job at Washington. And we know that Alabama is bringing in a new coach. And before long, we'll be talking college football and the SEC and the SEC and the Big Ten with a committee and alliance.
That's a big deal. Yep.
These are the two big boys, and so if the NCAA is going down with football, these two conferences are going to be at the charge.
There's also some football, put air quotes around football, Budman, this past weekend. The Pro Bowl was on TV. Did you watch any of the Pro Bowl festivities, Budman? Putting the shades on, I'll take that as a no.
Look, you know.
Hey, Patrick Queen, Jamar Chase, they had some LSU flavor in the flag football game, some one-handed catches. My son actually asked me if I preferred the flag football game to the Pro Bowl that he knows. I told him neither. I want the Pro Bowl that I grew up watching, where Sean Taylor was planting punters that were going for fake punts on fourth down when the games actually meant something. So, Budman, I float this question to you. We saw the in-game tournament with the NBA and how the players truly played with playoff intensity in those games. How does the NFL bring back some intensity if they were going to, shift away from this flag football thing, which I think they should? Not to just, totally disband the flag football, but we're not trying to watch professional players play flag football.
I didn't know. I watched a little bit of the skills. I watched Peyton and Eli have fun.
Yep.
I watched some of Baker Mayfield and Tua and all those guys have the skills competition. I did not watch any of the game. I was watching LSU women take down Florida, as you alluded to. They will go and play at Vandy Thursday night at 8. LSU on the road tomorrow night at 6 o'clock against Tennessee. Tennessee put over 100 on Kentucky. John Calipari has the lifetime contract, but the big blue people are not happy. And, Calipari, it's one thing to have a lifetime contract, but there's going to be a lot of pressure if he didn't. They've lost 2 in a row at home. So basketball heating up, baseball on the horizon, and, of course, the final meaningful football game of the season. Pro Bowl, great to get the family and the kids out there, but not really much semblance of a game. They have fun. Nobody wants to get injured. But as Peyton Manning, was it Peyton Manning's kid telling Eli, oh, this was scripted, man. You guys were going to win anyway. So, hey, young man, it was also scripted when the Saints got shafted by that referee and his crew. And, oh, by the way, I think they're working this
Still
weekend.
doing games. That's exactly right.
Unbelievable.
Our first break of this episode of Tigers Roar. We'll be right back here on Pelican Sports TV. But first, I want to tell you guys, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We keep all the Tigers Roars archived right there for your viewing pleasure. While you're at the page, go click the like, the notification, and the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It will help us out with the algorithm, and it will notify you every time we drop something new at the YouTube page. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. He's the Bud Man. I'm JP. You're watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Right now, during the season of inspiration at Team Mazda, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new Mazda CX-5, or get 0.9% financing on the all-new 24 Mazda CX-90. Save thousands on over 150 new Mazdas now on sale at Team Mazda.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Look up to the skies, that's
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Appreciate the countdown. Marty doing a great job as floor director as always. We got AT driving the truck. Gage in the back helping us out today. Of course, I'm Jonathan Poche, joined by the Bud Man here at Old School Barbecue, ready to bring you some more Tigers Roar. Time to talk some LSU women's basketball. 19-4 is the record. 6-3 in the SEC after they bounce back. Dropped 2 in a row against South Carolina and Mississippi State on the road. And then come back and play really well against Florida, hustling all over the court. Coach Kim Mulkey said that's what she wanted. She wanted her team to be flying for the ball, Bud Man, be the tougher team, don't get out-hustled, and scored 106 points. That's the most for an LSU team, a women's team, in LSU history in an SEC game. So good time to get hot, Bud Man. LSU still has all their goals set out in front of them. Just 2 Sundays before that SEC tournament's going to be around the corner. So getting down to the meat of it. And LSU still in the thick of it, but man, still relevant.
Moved from 9 to 13. You know I'm not I don't like the number 13, so you want to get off that number. But look, as long as they get a top 16 seed, that means they host a couple games. And probably looking at a 4 seed right now, maybe a 3 if they finish strong. I don't think there's anything super important about winning the SEC tournament again this year. Poche, Lester Poche, started at point guard. Haley Van Lith was moved over to shooting guard. She was much better, had 21. Of course, Angel Reese and Anissa Mora both had double-doubles. Michaela Williams, have you ever seen anything so beautiful when she's on? Just she squares up and shoots that jump shot. It is a sight to see. And baby Aaliyah Del Rosario, baby Shaq. Yep. She's got to play the role of Shaq. She's got to be the big. 6'5", 6'6", got to play more minutes. She's getting better. And Janae Kent also. So with those 3 subs, playing a rotation of 8. And as we know, still plenty of work to do. But I think we all agree, Haley Van Lith certainly looked more comfortable shooting it at the 2 guard than having to handle the rock and bring the ball up and play point guard, JP.
Both Haley Van Lith and Michaela Williams both had 21 points, but got to give a shout-out to Anissa Mora. We're going to read her stat line so I don't mess it up. 18 points, 20 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. For an undersized post player, getting 20 rebounds, sharing the floor with a player like Angel Reese, that really is an outstanding job by that young woman, and she's been doing a great job for LSU the entire season. Came out with a new hair look, Bud, man. Yeah. Hadn't seen her with the blonde hair yet this season. Get 20 rebounds with the blonde hair. Keep it around, and he said it looked good.
I think she still leads the SEC in steals. She's been fantastic anticipating passes, and, of course, as we know, you want to stay healthy. I want to see more of the bench. It was good to see finally some of the bench. I've been asking for Velez to play. Young lady, you got to have a little more poise. She was kind of with the Brooke Trout look, but as we know, those legs get tired. Both men and women had the midweek games off. Yeah. You could tell they got their legs back. It affects everything, including shooting. But and then, how about this? We've never given a shout-out to Pelicans playing good ball. I don't know what you think about Willie Green, but if he doesn't make the wrong rotations, they've got a good club. They're playing a little bit better, and I didn't get it out of you. You picking 49ers or KC?
I'm pulling for the Niners. It's hard for me to believe that Mr. Pfizer himself, boyfriend, girlfriend, with the most powerful woman on the planet, all the Swifties, will throw a riot if the Chiefs don't win. So, I mean, I'm pulling for the Niners, but, man, I really do hope Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, not to say it is what it is, but Christian McCaffrey, white running back. I mean, he's representing for the white guys in the league. Definitely pulling for CMC to get it to the Super Bowl. And Brock Purdy, Mr. Relevant, making less than Arch Manning made to play 1 drive at Texas this past season. So pulling for the Niners. It's hard for me to believe the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Mahomes, they've been there, done that. So many AFC championships in a row. So I'm pulling for the Niners, but I believe the Chiefs will win the game. What about you, Bud, man?
Yeah, Kittle and obviously some guys coming back from bumps and bruises, and so we'll see what happens. It should be a good game. Look, I think everybody knows on Sunday, you have the friends over, you're watching your last meaningful football game, you're going to eat. Let's hope this thing is not boring by the time we get to the third quarter. Yep. And I have not kept up with Swift, but I do know she's got a concert in Japan.
Oh, the day before?
The day before, so it'll be interesting to see how they get her over there in time. Yeah. And obviously the NFL has abused a little bit of that relationship
Absolutely.
to promote their product.
Yeah. We'll let you guys hear post-game press conference after LSU defeated the Florida Gators 106-66. Here's grad transfer Haley Van Lith, freshman guard Michaela Williams, and head coach Kim Mulkey here on Tigers Roar.
Just what it looked like, your mentality, just your aggression level was high. Just how would you describe your mindset coming into the game and just where you were at?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just decided to be myself. And, you know, my teammates have been encouraging me to. My coaches have been encouraging me to. So I was finally able to, you know, find that.
It seemed like there was more, maybe more Haley, but it was more interaction with you and Poa playing at the same time. Maybe you playing shooting guard, something like that. Just talk about how you thought the guard rotations worked today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've wanted Poa to get in the game a little bit more, and you know, she came with a good mindset today. She played hard. She played defense. She was Poa, and that allows me to move to the 2 and get some 2. But also when we were in together, I think we did a great job of, sometimes when she was in, I would bring the ball up and still play the 1. And I think if we can continue to build on that, it'll make us really dangerous because we can play really fast, and it's hard to guard us in transition. So I think if we can continue to use that to our advantage, it's going to help us.
Haley, you said you decided to be yourself. Have you not felt like yourself lately? And what you know, what kind of player are you, and what kind of player do you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I haven't been completely myself. I've had moments, but I think mostly what I'm trying to say is I've been inconsistent. I've had games where I'm myself, and then the next game I don't play like myself, and that's on me. Like, that's not on anyone besides me. It's my job to bring it every game, and you know, I've accepted that responsibility, and it's time to move forward. And it's not even, you know, today I scored. It's not even about that. I think. Like, the rebounds is what I think showed, like, my aggression. Like, I went into rebound, and I played defense, and I had energy. And so I don't even care about the points. I think it's mostly just, like, the attitude and the competitiveness that I can bring to the table. It'll help our team. Like, I have to bring it, or we're not going to reach our potential. So it's on me to continue to do that.
This is for both players. There seemed to be a passion the way y'all played today, almost an anger, just every loose ball you wanted, every rebound you wanted to get, a lot of body banging. Just, I guess, from losing 2 games and the commitment to defense, what was the last couple of days of practice like, and how did it transfer to the game? Because it looked like you just weren't going to lose for a lack of effort.
I mean, that's the difference between winning games and losing games, is diving for those loose balls, getting those loose rebounds, and hustling and playing hard. So that's kind of really what we focus on in practice: defense, effort, play hard, play hard, play hard. Because if you don't, you're coming out. And I don't think anybody wants to sit down. So, I mean, the biggest thing is play hard and play fast and play aggressive and be disciplined and come out on top.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, yeah, I just think the competitiveness to fight. Every game, everyone is going to give us their best shot, and everyone wants to play us, and the stands are always going to be packed. So us just taking on that challenge and not running from it anymore, I think is the key.
One question each for the both of you. Haley, for you, I guess when you're a transfer and you join a team like this that does have some established starters and some players that kind of know what their role. How hard is it for a new player to come in and, to your point, find their role and try to be themselves amongst a team that does have some things established? And then, Michaela, for you, I think there was like 18 combined jumpers today between jumpers and 3-pointers. So just talk about this team's ability today to kind of hit the jump shot, the outside shot, and how that was able to keep you guys obviously very offensively fluid today.
Yeah, I think for me, it's very rare in the women's game that you see someone like me and Anissa transfer to a better team. So I think it's a little bit unprecedented, and we just got to put one foot in front of the other. And I think you have to lean into the people that have been here, and just accept the challenge. I think it's about mental toughness and true competitiveness and knowing who you are and self-confidence. And I think if you can just, my motto for this year has been like, take one step every day, take one step every day. And sometimes I have bad games, but the next morning I'm going to get up, I'm going to take another step, and I'm going to come to practice and hopefully have a great practice. So it's hard, but, that's why I came here. I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to be challenged. So, I'm getting what I asked for. Can't complain.
Got time for a couple more for the players.
And Michaela had it.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of 3-level scorers, and the jump shot is just one of those levels that most of all of the team can score on. So I feel like as long as we're consistent on that level, then the games go well.
To both the players, you see Poe at practice every day, but did she show some offensive stuff tonight that if she's a little more aggressive, like driving to the hoop and what she did, that can help you guys moving forward?
Absolutely. We see that from Poa every day in practice. We just have to push her a little bit more to actually showcase that in the game. So I'm just proud she felt comfortable enough and able enough to go in and get those buckets and do what she did today.
Yeah, I agree.
Michaela, I know you had one in particular that you were pumped about in the assist. I think it was to Angel underneath the basket. But obviously people know you can score. It's something that you feel comfortable doing. But as you kind of progress throughout this season, how much pride do you take in being able to kind of dish it out when teams start to focus on you, especially beyond the three-point line?
All right. I think it's just a good thing that my game is kind of diverse. So when people sag off and sometimes overhelp on Angel, then leave that other post player open, just my ability to see the floor and see the open person is one of the good things about my game.
The Florida coach talked about y'all's perimeter defense really bothering them. Obviously, that's been a point of emphasis for you. Just how much progress did you see throughout the week, and how do you feel like y'all did in that aspect today?
We did have good perimeter defense today. I thought we had good post help when perimeter people, attempted to get by us. The bye week helped us focus on us, and we didn't have to do scouting reports. We stayed in that film room as long as we needed to. We stayed on that floor as long as we needed to work on us. I thought 2 or 3 things that we really emphasized was half-court defense and helping each other and being aggressive. We focused on transition defense, and we focused on transition offense. And I thought we were better in all 3 today. And they shoot a lot of threes, and I think they only made 4. Korea, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, so I hope they'll forgive me, but she leads the league in scoring, and you hold her to half her average. Well, so then you look at shot attempts. Well, did she get half her average, but she shot a bunch? Not at all. She didn't get but 11 attempts. So when we go back and look at film, we're going to be looking at, is that because of us? So you see it in us. I thought the proudest moment I had today was we're up 40 in the fourth quarter, and I think it was Angel went for a loose ball out of bounds and then flipped it here, and then Morrow flips it back over her head, and it's knocked around here, and we're getting on the floor for it. When you can give that kind of effort in the fourth quarter and not the first quarter, I think you're getting your message through.
That was Haley Van Lith, Michaela Williams, and head coach Kim Mulkey after LSU defeated the Florida Gators 106-66. Gotta love the sweatshirt. Throw me something, Queen. Right in time for carnival season. Coach Kim Mulkey always dressed to impress, but gotta give her a shout out. That's a good Mardi Gras sweatshirt.
Queen of Sparkles. It is a clothing line. Jamie has done an incredible job. By the way, when they had the game day with the ladies before the buildup of South Carolina, gave a Queen of Sparkles LSU shirt to all 4 or 5 of those broadcasters. So bringing a lot of publicity to LSU. Obviously, South Carolina still undefeated. And on the men, JP, how many can they get to? They're at 4-4 at Tennessee. Wednesday night, hosting Bama at 11. If they win a couple more in the conference, that's about what I've got them.
You got them a couple.
6 or 7 at the max, but they are getting a little bit better, especially when they play team basketball.
Yeah, they are buying in, Bud, man. The system does show signs of improvement with Coach McMahon. These guys have been in it now a couple of years. Well, at least a couple of guys have. Still need a couple of studs to join the LSU Tigers to get them really competing in the SEC, but we'll take another quick break here on Tigers Roar. We'll talk some baseball when we come back. Coach Jay Johnson had his first press conference of the season, defending national champions. Coach Jay Johnson now in his 3rd year, loaded roster, ready to get things going in about 10 days as we tape here on February 6th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Tremonti's has meat, Tremonti's has seafood, Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters, huge wine and liquor selection, beer and all the spices you need, Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats, ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs, 20 flavors of sausage for the grill, daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Celebrate this holiday season with the gift of a new Honda during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. And now you can make no payments for 90 days on our biggest selection of Hondas this year, making this the happiest time of the year. Come save now at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
The winning play is the Buy Here, Sell Here event at the Team Automotive Group. Buy here and save on hundreds of certified and pre-owned vehicles. Or sell here and we'll pay you top value. Buy here or sell here and you'll be the winner at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And welcome back to Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche, the Budman, Buddy Songy. Happy to have you here on Pelican Sports TV. Time to talk some LSU baseball. Just about 10 days away from the start of LSU baseball at the box as we tape here on February the 6th. Of course, LSU won it all last year, won 54 games, and then took the national championship, defeating Florida by 20 in the championship game, Bud, man. It was so exciting. I mean, you talk about the run-up to the home run from Tommy Tanks against Vandy. It was just a scripted end to Dylan Cruz's career at LSU. Of course, you have Paul Skeens, the best pitcher in the land. He goes number 1. Dylan Cruz goes number 2. LSU loses a ton of talent to the pros. Joe Bear, a shortstop that started for 3.5 years for you, and Thompson, the first baseman, the best first baseman in the league, and Trey Morgan. I mean, losing a lot of talent, but still ranked preseason number 2 headed into the season. In my opinion, that's a little too lofty for the expectations for this team.
Not defending national champions,
That's right.
but reigning national champions.
That's right.
Saban told me long ago when they had won it in 2003, coming back in 2004, this team hadn't won anything. And, of course, he said it in a little different tone, using a 4-letter word. But that being said, they're going to win baseball games a lot differently this year. And I don't think Jay Johnson gets enough credit for managing a pitching coach who is on the crux of leaving during the season, gets the head job at Georgia. They keep it quiet for about 4 days. That's when Coach J.J. was so uptight. All of a sudden it gets released. Johnson starts making trips to the mound, so the guy is well-versed. Nate Yeske comes over, the pitching coach from A&M, going to do a great job. Are they going to hit as many home runs? Probably not. Are they going to hit as well as they did last year? Probably not. But 10 lefties, I've never seen them have this many lefties. Got a bunch of guys that throw heat. Obviously, you got Chase Shores and guys coming off, Jason Newt coming off injuries. They don't even need them. Javen Coleman, all these guys that are coming back from setbacks. So I don't know how good they will be. I will say that if you check out the LSU baseball schedule, Coach Johnson has a lot of games scheduled at 2 o'clock. And so the opener a week from this Friday against VMI will be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He doesn't like to have them pitching in the cold weather.
Right.
And obviously we know that it'll be interesting to see. I have no idea. I just know this. The SEC is going to have 5 or 6 in the top 10, as they always do. So competitive conference, but a little early. I want to see how they look like once they start. All these scrimmages and all that other stuff, kind of hard to project. But look, you know the aspirations and expectations of this fan base. Omaha or bust. I think we'll see if they can get there. Back to Omaha again.
We'll let you guys hear from the head coach himself. Here is head coach of the baseball team, Jay Johnson. He had this press conference yesterday, his first press conference of the year. He'll tell you about the team, the new faces, the expectations for this new group, and how they transferred, that new pitching coach, and a whole lot more. Here's head coach Jay Johnson right here on Tigers Roar.
Okay, good to see everybody. When I come in here for this, it's always a reminder that there's no place like LSU to play college baseball, and very grateful, for the coverage and the exposure all of you, give our players and our program. It's truly unique relative to our sport. We've had a great 6.5, 7 months since ending 2023. Very proud of the players in terms of what they've done and put in. We have a lot of really good development stories that, will come to light as we get into the 2024 season. Really pleased with how they've operated both on and off the field. It's always a goal of ours to be a low drama program, and to this point we continue to be successful in that. Another really good semester in the classroom, second one where we've exceeded any team GPA for LSU baseball. And as I said, a lot of work on the field. Again, for the third year in a row, we've had a ton of transition in terms of our coaching staff, and couldn't be more convicted that we definitely have the right guys in the building and the positive impact they're having, on our players, and have mixed well with myself, Coach Jordan, Coach Wanaka, Jamie Tutko, but adding Coach Yeske on the pitching side of things, Coach McMillan on the strength and conditioning side of things, and Terry Rooney has been a massive lift for us, and really happy with how we're operating on a daily basis in terms of moving the way that we want to. Logistically, how this will shake out is we'll have 18 practices over the next 21 days with 3 off days. Those will, largely depend on weather. My hope is to scrimmage 11 or 12 times, over those 18 days, and get ourselves prepared for opening day. No different than usual. We treat the season like a 56-game playoff, and it is in college baseball. And so the goal is to have our team as ready as we can, for opening day. And then, we're obviously going to need to improve and find out what our best team is as we go. But really exciting time in terms of attacking the challenges that 2024 presents.
Hey, Coach, here in the back. How do you raise the bar in 2024 after last year's season?
Well, that's how I operate my entire life is always like what decisions can propel us in the program forward. And in terms of results, it's hard to do much better than that team did. I think attacking different challenges and what I would call our process of winning and constantly improving that, and college baseball and college athletics is kind of under construction, as we know it. But if I look at how we operate, and this is always how I choose to do it, at the highest possible level, what improvements can we make in doing that? I'll give you an example. Very thankful to our administration. We were able to go get Jeremy McMillan, who I believe is the best strength coach in college baseball, and bring him in. And just in a month's time from the time we were done with them in the fall until they returned in January, players are stronger, they're moving better, more functional in baseball. So that would be an example of trying to raise the bar. I think, bringing in, Terry Rooney, along with Josh Jordan and myself, try to recruit at the highest possible level and continue to add the talent needed to compete at the top of college baseball on an annual basis, which has been not easy to do, in this modern era. And I believe there's several reasons for that. But I think, our MO as a program is always focusing on what's important right now and how we do what we do. We all know what we want to do, but how we get there is where we put all of our focus.
Coach, I have two questions. What did you see in Gage jump to want him to get him to come here and want him to come here? And then how has he come back from the injury? And then the second one is about Paxton Clayton, getting the chance to be able to play every day. And it's his, he's competing for a spot in center field. How much more less pressure does he have this year, maybe than he had last year coming in as a freshman?
Yeah, in reference to Gage, I recruited him extremely hard at Arizona. It's one of those guys that when you're out there, like, we have to have this guy. And very rarely do you get this talent meets character, meets competitive, meets, maybe he's a tick undersized, so we might be able to squeeze him through the Major League Baseball draft out of high school. And we worked hard. We didn't get him. He chose to go to UCLA, but in that process, I felt like we built a good rapport and relationship. And with that, when he decided to go in the transfer portal, it wasn't that hard to reconnect. And then you're looking at some of the stories of last year's team and what that team accomplished and what guys that maybe were in a similar situation a year ago, how coming to LSU elevated them and where they wanted to go. It was a attractive, deal, but was the number one priority, in terms of what we were going to do in the transfer portal. And maybe we're a little lucky that he was a little bit more under the radar because he missed last season. But, once I saw that, it was, let's try to get this done. Now, returning from the injury, he missed the 2022 season. We've been very deliberate about that. I think he threw a total of 6 innings in the fall. And we built him up he threw 1 inning, and then 2 innings in the 2 outside scrimmages against McNeese and Louisiana Lafayette. He'll throw 2 innings, today or this weekend, and, we'll build him, accordingly, to be effective as he can be at the beginning and improve as the season goes along. But he's responded really well. In regards to Paxton, massive, get for us to, once he opened up as a recruitment, to get him back to LSU. And, it's easy to forget that, he was hitting leadoff opening day last year on that team. And so that says everything you need to know about what I believe, Paxton's capability and ceiling is. I have great faith in him. I think he's made some great strides in his development. He's one of those guys, as I said, I'm excited for everyone to see the fruits of the labor of the work that they've put in his case, both physically and mentally and experience. Let's not forget he grew up in Pennsylvania, which, because of weather, you have to overcome that in terms of your baseball development. And, he had a couple injuries last year, which, didn't allow him to maybe stay in there, but was starting a game in the SEC tournament, had 100 at-bats, had a very successful 100 at-bats. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find 10 more freshman players in the SEC that had as effective a season as Paxton. So it's his time, and I'm super excited about that. And love coached him. He's a great kid, great talent, and really happy for where he's headed.
Hey, Coach. I have two questions. One, how has the team adjusted to now being the Hunters of the Hunters from last year? And then Jake Brown was one of the top left-handed pitchers in the country out of the class of 2023. How has he looked in the outfield, and what does he need to keep improving on?
Yeah, to your first question, I don't think there's any transition in terms of how we're viewed. I've never seen a team with more expectations on it than last year's team. And to be clear, it's two different teams. So in terms of the returning players, they know exactly what's coming because it was coming in the same wave last year. I think, our whole thought process behind that is we're not defending anything. When you're being hunted, you're kind of on defense. We're not doing that. We're attacking 2024 and this opportunity. And we've put a lot of time in explaining to the team exactly what that looks like from a mindset standpoint. And so feel really good about that.
And that was head coach Jay Johnson, his first press conference of the 2024 campaign. You heard him say, look, we're not the defending champions. We're attacking this 2024 opportunity. That last question got cut off in his answer about Jake Brown and how versatile that player really is going to be for LSU. So he can play some catcher. He plays all three spots in the outfield. He can move into the infield, play some third base. But that is going to be
and he pitches.
And he pitches. It's going to be a lot of the same story for these guys playing, at least field positions. Position players, I should say, for LSU because they have so much pitching, Bud, man. And when you take on these scholarship pitchers, of course, you're taking away scholarships from skill guys. So a ton of pitching. Freshman Cam Johnson is certainly exciting. You talked about the velocity early in the show. It took a lot to get him out of the major league draft, and LSU was able to get him on campus. And they picked up a kid from Alabama that's also going to throw from the right. Lots of pitching. Of course, you have Nancy Ackenhausen that comes back, Griffin Herring. You go through the list. All these guys has Omaha experience from last season. You heard Coach Jay Johnson say, expectations were an all-time high for the group last year, the 2023 group, but being ranked preseason number 2 with all the talent, all the expectations in Baton Rouge, I think expectations are just as high for this season, Bud, man.
Interesting, as you were saying, I was just thinking about that. Kim Mulkey and Lady Tigers were preseason ranked number 1.
Yep.
They're now at 13. Look, these preseason rankings don't mean a lot. Obviously, we know that Samaya Smith got hurt. We know that Kateri Poole got dismissed. And they're missing that point guard. My gosh, are you missing her? Alexis Morris. On the baseball side, Skeens are going to have a lot of different pitchers, but you're not going to have a guy of that class, that character, that leadership. Dylan Cruz, you can't replace him. Trey Morgan, some people still think it's one of the greatest defensive plays in LSU baseball history, coming in on the bunt with the quick toss out the glove and the home plate. Still one of the greatest regular season games I've ever seen. LSU Wake Forest, put that tape in. 0-0 after 9 innings, JP. And, of course, anytime you beat the Florida Gators in Omaha, it's a good year. So, look, nothing happened last year carries over to this year. So we will see. I think they're going to have to win games a lot differently, but home runs will be down appreciably, and we'll wait to see. I think that everybody else has got questions as well, but once again, preseason number 2, 4 in some polls, off of a reigning national champion. JP, Georgia. Don't you think Georgia's going to be preseason ranked number 1 in football, even though they didn't win it? You can't pick Michigan. They lost their coach and a ton of talent. So these preseason rankings just kind of started up. Oh, by the way, Allegiant Stadium, where the Super Bowl is played on Sunday night, that's where LSU and USC open up the football season. September 1, that is Labor Day weekend, 6:30. On ABC.
We do have one more break to get to here on Tigers Roar. Before we get to that break, we'll remind you guys, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We have all the Tigers Roars archived right there for your viewing pleasure. If you miss any of this episode, go check us out on YouTube. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. While you're at the page, go ahead and click the like, the notification, and the subscribe button. So if you haven't done so already, you get notified every time we post something new on Pelicans page. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. One more quick break here. here on Tigers Roar. We'll come back, put a pretty bow on it, and wrap it up right here on Pelican Sports TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Now's the best time to experience Mazda during the Season of Inspiration at Team Mazda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on your new Mazda. That's right, shop now, choose your new Mazda, and make no payments for 90 days at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche, the Budman, Buddy Songy, here to put a pretty bow on this episode of Tigers Roar. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. If you missed any of this episode, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Earlier in the show, we were talking some women's basketball. We talked the men's basketball. We also talked some baseball. The defending champions now 10 days away from getting things kicked off at the box. As we tape here on February the 6th. Of course, women's basketball, they go to Tennessee to face Vanderbilt, then they're back home against Alabama. But, man, only a couple weeks before the SEC tournament, so Coach Kim Mulkey's team really has to get focused in and start winning some games, just string a few together.
Once again, second signing period for football. Dominic McKinley, a big D tackle from Acadiana and Lafayette, expected to sign LSU, hoping that they flip Terry Bussey, who's been committed to Texas A&M. We'll get into a lot of these signees coming in here, but they are reloading, and 2025, that's not this class, but the next is looking like it's got a chance to be number 1 or number 2. Underwood, the quarterback, and all of the great 5-stars. They've already got 3 or 4 5-stars committed, and so Brian Kelly with a lot of momentum. Saints hiring a new offensive coordinator, and obviously, as we know, Sean Payton did the greatest thing for all of us. He took Pete Carmichael off our hands, and so Pete will be counting pencils and cleaning his office over in Denver now.
Yeah, for good, bad, or indifferent, the Saints have doubled down on Derek Carr. They have given his money, and he's going to be the starting quarterback next season. Hopefully a new offensive coordinator can get some new flavor to that offense and get the playmakers the ball on the outside. Got to have more points on the board, more touchdowns specifically. Can't settle for field goals in the NFL. That's what cost the Saints a couple games. That's what cost them a chance to go to the playoffs. And now 3 years in a row, Saints left out of the playoffs. Coach Dennis Allen, he was compared to the greats by his general manager, compared to the Belichicks, the Landrys, and the Walshes. We haven't seen it as Saints fans, certainly haven't seen it in his past couple seasons. But Dennis Allen, he gets one more shot at it. Not going to extend his contract but beyond the 2024 season, but there is faith from the organization in Dennis Allen. I think he's a great guy, great defensive mind, but has to make the playoffs or it's time to hit the bricks.
By the way, Beth Carina and the Lady Tigers softball open up in a couple of days. LSU gymnastics with a school record 198.425. They're back rated number 3. And as you alluded to, look, we got plenty of time to chew on the Saints and the Tigers and the Jags for football. But hopefully all of you, don't forget, if you're going to Mardi Gras, be safe. We know where those kids are. You don't want anybody getting scraped under a float looking for a bead. And, oh, by the way, you can catch us on our daily radio show at Pelican Sports Radio. JP, tell them how easy it is to download that app.
Yeah, go to the App Store if you have an iPhone, or go to Google Play Store if you have an Android. Go type in Pelican Broadcasting. It's the only app that'll pop up. Download. It's free for you. Log in with the email, and you get the radio and the TV side anytime you want it right there from your smartphone device. Keep it on your pocket. Watch it at home, in the car, whatever you want to do. Once again, Pelican Broadcasting on your App Store if you have an iPhone, or the Google Play Store if you have an Android. Listen to the Budman 1 to 3 on Buddy Sports Talk. Don does a great job. He's done a good job for you for a long time. Great guests, a lot of phone calls. Check him out, Buddy Sports Talk, if you haven't done so already, on the Pelican Broadcasting app. Go to your iPhone, you have the App Store, or the Google Play Store if you have an Android, and type in Pelican Broadcasting. But, man, you mentioned the Pelicans earlier, so I'll give you my take on Willie Green. I love the coach. I think he does a great job. Zion has grown stale, in my opinion. He couldn't stay healthy. He didn't do what he had to do to keep his body in shape, whether that be losing some weight or a diet regimen, whatever it is. Zion has missed more games than he's played for the Pelicans, and they have certainly felt those ramifications. They could have took Ja Morant first overall, but of course, Ja Morant has had his fair share of difficulties off the court as well. But Zion has to get it together, Coach Willie Green. They got to make the playoffs, but, man, can't have a fall towards the later season like they've done the past couple seasons. And you don't want to get the 8 or 7 or 8 seed because, of course, who you play, either the Lakers or the Golden State Warriors, one of those teams that are very difficult. But, man, looking forward to baseball season, looking forward to Coach Brian Kelly keeping this momentum into the offseason, and Coach Kim Mulkey making this run towards March.
And I'm predicting Kansas City 27-24 over the 49ers. Should be a great game. One of the things we failed to mention, Deebo Samuel. If Frisco's going to win it, he's got to have a big game.
Certainly appreciate you tuning into this episode of Tigers Roar. For AT driving the bus and Gage back there helping. For our Florida director, Marty, he's the Budman. I'm JP. You've been watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.